Again, going on the road, got another challenge ahead of us with Old Dominion. This is a really good football team. You can't look at their record and make any determination of how good they are, because this is a really good team. They're 2-6. Everybody knows about the Virginia Tech win that they had, but they've lost 3 games by 1 score. So this is very easily. Their season could have been completely opposite if they had a break or two go their way. In those 3 other games, they're coming off a dramatic, a phenomenal win over Western Kentucky. A testament to Coach Wilder and his staff and his players of never giving up. If you guys don't know how that game ended, you need to research it, because it's really a phenomenal ending. And again, a testament of never giving up and, playing every play. And, so I'm sure they're pretty sky high right now, a lot of confidence, and they're playing good. They made a quarterback change, I think, after probably in the middle of the Virginia Tech game, the second series of the Virginia Tech game, and they've really been really, really good on offense since that change. So this is a good football team that we're playing, and they got the two. I know the one receiver is leading the conference in receptions and yards, and the other one's in the top 10. So 2 really good receivers. They're really big. They're tall. They can run. Create a lot of mismatch problems for you from a defensive standpoint. Excuse me. And then their quarterback's playing well, like I said. Their defensive end, has been an all-conference guy for a while now. He's really athletic, really fast, creates a lot of pressure for their defense coming off the edge. They've got good guys on the back end. So again, this is a really good football team, like I said earlier. So we got to be ready to play. And going on the road is always a challenge. You guys know that. We know that. It's a it's a great environment. They've got 20,000 people, and there'll be 20,000 people there. They always sell it out. It's going to be a great atmosphere, a lot of energy. So we've got to be able to handle, that crowd and ignore all the noise and just focus on, the game at hand.
Coach, your defense has been playing pretty well. How do you keep that going against maybe the best offense that you faced in the conference?
Well, we played some really good offenses. Florida Atlantic had a really good offense. Marshall had a really good offense. Charlotte did some nice things. FIU also. Georgia. We played. Even Tennessee Martin. Their offense was really good. So, but I'm proud of our defense right now. We're playing good. We're playing fast. The last 4 games, they haven't given up a lot of points. And one thing we've done is we've done a good job of keeping, big plays, explosion plays in front of us. We haven't given up a bunch of chunk plays. So we have to continue to do that, especially against, 2 receivers as talented as Old Dominion have. So, again, it's just every week presents a new challenge, and this will be a different challenge than we faced last week or the week before. And you just got to have a great week of practice and preparation and get ready to play it.
How big of a test will this be for your guys' secondary, especially with their quarterback and the receivers, compared to the running backs you've kind of faced in conference so far with the Benny LeMays, the Devin Singletaries, the Tyler Kings?
Again, Marshall and Florida Atlantic had some really, really good skill players at wide receiver. So this isn't the first time that we faced good receivers. Georgia had good receivers. Vanderbilt had. We've faced a bunch of really good receivers. This year, and but our defense. We'll have a good plan in place, and they got to play. We got to try to get some pressure on the quarterback to initiate some quicker throws, get the ball out of his hand a little bit quicker. But we've got to do a good job. But we've played a bunch of really good skill players up to this point.
I hate to be that guy to ask, but obviously with Brent, what have you seen from him after that game? Did you like what you saw from him coming off of that kind of injury at FIU?
Yeah, it's again, he was probably a little bit better than what I thought he was going to be yesterday. Because he took some hits on it, and the first as many plays as he was on it and what he did and everything, that usually you would expect it to be a little bit worse than what it was. So I thought he came out I thought he came out of the game and yesterday a lot better than I anticipated. And then being an off day, we'll give him another day to to rehab and get ready to go the rest of the week.
You mentioned O'Shane coming off the edge for them. What does he do for their defense when he's coming off the edge and 100% like he is right now?
Well, he's a very talented player. He's a really good athlete. He uses his hands very well. He's got a couple different moves, pass rush moves that he uses, but his big thing is just his explosiveness, his speed coming off the edge, and he's going to try to get upfield. So we've got to do a good job at our tackles and getting set and getting depth in our set. And we've got to do a good job of leverage and staying on him. So, but no, he's a really good football player, and those guys, usually find a way of good players usually find a way of having good season. That's why they're good players. So he's a really talented player.
Touched a little bit on Old Dominion's ending against Western Kentucky. Have you ever seen a situation like that where there's been 3 untimed downs before the end of the game?
You go back to, I'm going to date myself. You guys probably weren't even born. I know Kentucky was involved in it, and I think it was LSU. But I think, and I can't remember who was on offense, but they throw a Hail Mary. They start on about the 20-yard line. They throw a Hail Mary, and it's incomplete, but they call defensive pass interference. They throw another Hail Mary down there. It's incomplete, but they call pass interference. Then they throw the third one down there, and it's a touchdown. So, but to have an ending like that because, the game's over, or it's going to overtime, and Old Dominion is penalized for a roughing the passer. So as a coaching staff, you're mad at that guy for roughing the passer. So now they kick a field goal, and you line up there, you got 12 guys on the field. So now you're mad at your coaches, you're mad at the 12th guy for being out there. But so then they kick it again, and then you return it. So, but had you not roughed the passer, had you not had 12 men on the field, you don't have a chance to win the game in regulation. You're playing overtime. So to have 2 bad things happen, that you do 2 things bad happen in the last 5 seconds of the game, and it gives you the opportunity to win is pretty unusual.
What does a win like that do for a team? How does that create more challenges for you guys going in there this weekend?
Well, they're going to be confident. They got, if they would have lost, they would have been out of bowl contention. So it kept them in bowl contention. That was, their second win. They got 4 left, so they still got hope. If we do this, do that, and do that, we got a chance to still get in a bowl. So, so they still got that carrot hanging in front of them. But just the don't ever give up, no matter how bleak it looks. Don't ever give up. Keep fighting. Play one more play, and something may happen good, and it did it for them. So I just think it's probably because they had lost 3, 1-score games, and now they won one at the buzzer, And so I'm sure it's probably energized him and given him a lot of confidence going into this week.
Speaking about that bowl eligibility topic, that's obviously kind of dancing kind of right in front of you guys, especially after last year where you had to wait on the final day. Is kind of winning out the rest of the schedule really important to say, hey, guys, we don't have to worry on the final day just to get our bowl eligibility?
No, I really no. I hadn't thought about it, and I don't talk to our players about it. I'm not naive enough to know that they're counting where we're at. But our objective is to try to win this week, and if we handle each week, then at the end of the year, we'll see where we stand. But no, it's our focus, our players' focus, our coaches' focus is preparing this team to play our best game this week.
You touched a little bit on the running game after the game against Charlotte, how disappointing it's been. What's been kind of the biggest disappointment? Because the talent is there with the guys you have back there, but what's been kind of the biggest disappointment you feel like from that unit as a whole so far this year?
Well, I wouldn't say, disappointed. I'm not disappointed in our players' effort. I'm not disappointed in our players' ability. I'm just frustrated that we haven't been able to establish the run better. Part of it is, like the FIU game, we didn't have many at-bats. This past game, we had some opportunities there, but it still wasn't like we were getting 80 snaps in the game. So I think it's everybody, the linemen, receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, coaches, we all have to, just do a little bit better than what we're doing. And it's not broke. It's not broke. It's not unfixable. Just got to get a little bit better, stay on our blocks a little bit longer. All the little things, that make it go. But I still believe that we're going to have a breakout game because we got good players up front. Chandler and Pete and Josh and Carlos and Amir. Those guys have played a lot of snaps. They're good football players. They practice good. They play hard, and then. And you look at, Tavares, he was hurt most of this first year or first half of the year. He's just now getting back, so hopefully that'll help. Mobley hasn't really practiced much. He's starting to practice a little bit more now. Terrell, with his knee issue he had there early in the season. So I think we're starting to get healthier in the backfield. I think that'll help us. But it's not one person. It's not the offensive line. It's not the running backs. We all just got to do a little bit better job.
Going to the other side of the defensive end, Tyshawn Render kind of had a pretty good day against Charlotte. Is that what you kind of envision his potential to be? Because he has the size there and the talent, but the sack and then the force pass breakups, is that kind of what you've got guys kind of envision him doing on a consistent basis?
Yeah, I think Tyshawn is getting better each week, and you look at him now. He missed 4 or 5 games there in the middle, so he's starting to play. But Tyshawn has got a lot of talent. He's got good size. He's athletic. He can run. He's long. So again, I bet when you look at it, he hadn't played, a whole bunch this year, and it's starting to play these last couple of weeks because he's now healthy again. So, but Tyshawn can help us. He can be a force on our defense, and we need him to be. And I was proud of him and glad to see him have a really good game. And I think that, he got a taste of it, but he's played really consistent, really consistent the whole year, and had a nice game Saturday afternoon. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week.